All right, so I started the recording and I'm gonna go ahead and switch to my packet tracer. See, this packet tracer that you see here, I already completed the activity. And I know it works because look at, to test it, I go to the desktop on PCA and the command prompt, and I can ping the IP address for PCB. So the IP address for, show the whole screen because you're not seeing it here. The PCB IP address is a 03. So look at, let's show you, oops, not that one, different one. So when I click right here and I go ping the PCB, which is 192.168.0.3, when I'm pinging it, I should get the result that is, look at, I sent 4 packets and I received 4 packets. I didn't lose anything. So that's all you need to do on this. You gotta make sure that there's connectivity. But in order to be connectivity, show you here, there's gotta be a way that they are connected to each other. So let me show you in the simulation here. Let me just run the ping first. Run the ping here, because there's nothing there. There. So let me run the ping so you can visually see it. So I'm gonna go ping there. So I'm gonna show you. This is how it works. Okay, when I play it, you see that the envelope being sent from one location to the other one, to the switch. Now it goes to the router, and the router is gonna forward to PCB. PCB gets it, and then it's gonna send the confirmation back. That's where you get the message that says 4 packets in and 4 packets received, 0% in loss as a report. So that's basically what we're doing, what you just saw right there. All right, so that's the simulation that I wanted to show you. That's how it works, okay? In order for this to happen, you have to create the application. So let me go ahead and file new just to show you how you're gonna do this. I'm recording it, so at the end, I'll load the file. I'm not gonna say this, it's blank. So you start with packet traces and a new packet tracer. This one, there's no application for it, and there's no packet tracer. You have to create it. So it says that we need 2 computers. So I'm gonna go to the PC. It's gonna be PC1 and PC2. Okay. They don't have the names, so I'm gonna show you how to do the actual names. Let me zoom in here. You guys see both of them. And then we need a switch. Any switch will do, okay? Just grab the first switch and then a router. Okay, all these 4 devices are going to be connected together using the, notice I just grabbed the first router. Any router will work, any switch will work, okay? And as I hover over them, look at, it shows that I have no IP address for anything. And everything, all the connections are down. Same thing on this, look at. The VLAN is not even set. Everything is down. The PC0 has no IP address, nothing. Same as for the PC1. So you and I are gonna set up all that. The first thing is connecting them. I'm gonna use the cable to connect it. The copper is straight through, meaning that just Ethernet, regular Ethernet cable. So on PC0, it has to be connected to fast Ethernet 0. Now here's the trick, look at. Let me escape this, show you this, something here before I continue. Let's switch right here. And like minimize this so you can see my 2 windows here. All right, so you see my 2 windows. Wow, this one is quite not exact, but let me show you here. It says that the PC, move my thing right here. It says that let me just zoom out a little bit so you see. It says don't know if you see it right here, but it says that the PCA is connected through Fast Ethernet 06. So let's do that. So I'm gonna grab this thing. I'm gonna go to PC. Make sure that you see my two windows here. Yeah, you guys are able to see my two windows. So I'm gonna go to PC0, Fast Ethernet, and then I'm gonna go to switch 0 and connect it to Fast Ethernet 606. So it's this. Okay, it has to be connected to this. That's what it says right here. And then the next one, the switch is gonna connect from F05 or Fast Ethernet 05 to Gigabit 01. So I grab the second cable here. Fast Ethernet 5, here it is. And it's gonna go to Gigabit 01. Okay, and then the last connection is gonna be from Gigabit 00 on the router to the PC. The PC only has one Ethernet. See, Fast Ethernet 0. There it is. Now, why there are only these two green? Why there not everything is green? Because we have to set up all these IP addresses on each one. You're gonna go, oh my God, that is a lot of work, Mr. Vasquez. Well, it is some sort of a lot of work, but it's not what you think. There's a bunch of other stuff to do here. Don't bother, okay? The only thing I want you to do is just to put the IP addresses, nothing else. And then test it by typing the how do you call it, the ping command, that there's connectivity between. Right now, there's no connectivity. They don't even have IP addresses. So I'm gonna start with a PCA and the PCs to start with the first part of it, to set up their IP addresses. All right, just bear with me on this. So I'm gonna go to PC0. Just gonna open it here so you guys see it. I'm gonna go to desktop and config. Look at it, I can do it on desktop and config, or I can go to config. See that? And then here, put the name first of all. Name is gonna be PC-A. Oops. So I have the name now. And then the default gateway, server, DNS. Okay, I'm gonna go to the, look at, I can do it right here. If I go to Fast Ethernet, I can put the IP address here and the subnet mask here. And it has no room for the, address. So I'm not gonna do it there. I'm gonna go and do it over here on the desktop. And the IP configuration is easier doing it right here. So look at, I'm gonna type the IP address, which is 192.168.1.3. And then the subnet mask is correct, 255.3.255 and 10. Yep. And then the default gateway is what it doesn't have. So it's 192.168.1 and 1. No DNS server, we're gonna do it blank. So there, I'm gonna close it. And I already have the IP address for that. That's all I need to do with the PC. I'm done with that. So I'm gonna do now the PC1, or it will be PCB. To change the name, it's easy just to do it on config. Look at. What am I using that line? Oh yeah, there it is. PCB. I can do the default gateway right here, look at. And then switch to do that IP address, but I don't want to get you confused. Here, I'm just doing the name. So I'm gonna go to desktop, IP configuration. I can do all three right here. It's easier. So I'm gonna put 192.168.0.3. The IP address 255.255.255.0, correct. And then the IP address, I wanna delete those first. And it's 192.168.0.1. That's the default gateway. So I'm gonna close it there. I'm done with the PC1A and the PCB, but it's still no connection. Why? Because I have to set up the routers with the IP address. But I'm gonna show you a trick here, class, that we haven't seen because they're blocked. But when you create a file, nothing is blocked. Look, let me show you. I'm gonna go and set up the switch first. Well, I'm gonna do the router first because the router has two things that I have to set up. So I'm gonna go to the router. I have to set up the, give it the name first because it's R1. So look at router. And always we do everything to the CLI, which is a pain on you know what. The config is always locked. Why? Because the config only works when you grab the router, the switch I have here. If I grab it, I can set it up manually. It gives me access to this configuration manually. But if I do it remotely, I can only use the CLI, the command line interface. So here we get a chance to use the configuration, which is a directing. Look at display name. They want us to name it R1. So R and then that 1. And the host name, look at, I'm setting up the host name here. If you notice on the bottom, it's going to start typing the names and everything. I go router 1. Okay. And here I can save the configuration. Look at. So that part I did. Look at. As soon as I click or enter, look at, it shows what I just did. I went to config and I put the host name. You see that? I'm in config right now. I didn't have to type the commands because I'm accessing directly the router. All right, so I'm done with that part. What else can I do here? I can save the configuration. When I'm done, I'm gonna click right here and save the configuration. Right now, I don't need to save it yet because I'm gonna make more changes. The next change, I need to go to the interface gigabit Ethernet 00 and set up the IP addresses for that. Where are they? Right here. Look at. And notice on the bottom, I went interface, gigabit 00, and I'm in. It's typing the commands for me. So this is really nice. I want you to just see how easy it is. Look at, I'm gonna turn it on. What was the command for turn it on? No shutdown. There it is. I just applied the no shutdown. Look at. No shutdown. See, I didn't type it, I just click on the on. It's basically the same thing as, okay. All right, so IP configuration right here. I'm gonna put as, what is it, 192? 168. Remember, I'm doing the gigabit 00. So gigabit 00 is right here. 192 this is the one I'm doing. Just let me just highlight it so you guys don't get confused here. This is the one I'm doing. Invalid IP address because I'm not done yet. So I'm in the middle of it. It's 192.168.0.1. And then the subnet mask, just make sure that it's correctly written. It is. That's it. No default gateway, no nothing. I'm done with it. See, because this thing is a global configuration. Like I'm in global configuration. So that's pretty cool, huh? Now I'm gonna go to the second one. Second interface. I'm gonna turn it on. Well, I'll do the turn on at the end. It's fine. So I'm gonna put the IP address for the second one. So let me just clear that and then do the second one here. So I'm doing now this one. All right. I'm highlighting it so you see what I'm typing. It's gonna be 192.168.1.1. The other one was 01. Same IP address, 255.255. All right, so we're good. I'm gonna turn it on. And look at, I just did all those commands. I type in that. Oops, went up too high. But yeah, it's basically the same thing. All right. So it's showing the equivalent iOS commands of what I'm doing here. All right, so I made all the changes. Now I should go save it. So I'm gonna go global. Settings, I can save it right here. But remember one thing though, look at, it won't be able to save it because I have to exit. And it hasn't really exited. I'm still in the middle of it. So I'm gonna quickly go to the CLI, press enter, right here, enter, and then exit it. Exit, and then exit. Now I can save the configuration here. So I'm gonna go configuration again, and look at, I don't have to even type the command. I just go settings, and I'm just gonna go save. And look at what it just did. Let me go to the CLI so you can see it. Look at what it did. It did the copy running configuration, to start up configuration. It asked me to confirm it, and it confirmed it automatically. So it did the whole thing on its own. I didn't have to do anything. So I'm done with this. I can close this, and I'm done with a switch. Look at that. Ta-da! Now it's on. But guess what? It cannot won't be able to communicate because I have to create a VLAN. See, I just need to do the VLAN now for the I already did the router. I already set up the router. So this one is done. This one is done. I already did the PCs, PCB, PCA. I just need the I just need to do the switch. That's the last thing I need to do. How do I do the switch? The right way. Show you. So I go to the switch. I'm gonna open the switch here. As you can see, it's not that hard, and I'm recording it right now, so I'm gonna post the video on it too. So I go to the remember, I can do it on the config. It's not blocked. It's usually blocked, but it's not blocked for this as an activity. So I'm gonna go to the switch right here and name it first S1 because that's the name that it needs to have, and then S1 right here. This is showing you. Notice as soon as I press enter, it did the host name. See, it did the host name activity right here. So that's the nice thing that it does. It types it for you. So I'm already in configuration. So I'm gonna go to the VLAN. Every once in a while, it does that. So you guys hopefully you guys can hear me. Now you notice that I'm now on the thank you, David. Yeah, it's just not working. It does that every once in a while. So notice here, I'm in the configuration. We just need to set up the VLAN, which I forgot already. We just did it. It's hard to remember all the freaking commands. Let me go back and I'll show you where it's at. Set up VLAN. I need to set up the VLAN first and set up the VLAN. It's just the one I did right now. So it's IP address. You have to set it up. Let me show you here. What's this right here? This is the no? It's not the command. So this is the command. It is what? It is IP default gateway, but no, but see, that's the default gateway. We have to set up still the on the VLAN because the VLAN is not set up. Let me see if I can do it right here. Because this is VLAN database is the thing. It doesn't show really the, see, VLAN database, it just does show the name and all that. I don't think it shows anything. It just shows the name and the number. So that's not even it. Maybe it's on the all right, so it's not even there. That's why I'm having a hard time to set up the VLAN. Remember the VLAN has to be for all 0 to 15 connections. So I don't know how to do it on this thing, to be honest with you. I know how to do it on the CLI. So I'll do it on the CLI. Let me just go to the thing exactly to see where it was that we set it up. It's where we set up the switches. Show commands. So here, basic switch configuration. That's where it was. So here it will show the how to set it up. So it's so interface VLAN 1. Okay, that's what we need to do. So it's interface. Let me exit this. It's interface as a command. VLAN 1. Enter. And then once you're in the interface, you just have to type. See, I found it right here. So I'm copying it from this section right here. When we set up the switch, it's hard to remember all the commands. I don't remember all the commands. Once I'm in it, then it comes back to me. So it's IP address. We have to set up the IP address. The IP address, I have it right here. See that? This is for the VLAN. So IP address is going to be, it's going to be 192.168.1.2, and the subnet mask is 255, and 0. And then the gateway, that's something else I need to do differently. All right, so there it is. I set up the IP address already for the VLAN. I just need to set up the gateway. The gateway, you can do it here. The gateway is the one I just did right now when we guys came in. So that one is on the right here. Switch to power here is. That one is this one again, which is it's just on the configuration. You don't have to go into that thing. But it should be able to go. Let me see if we can do it here. IP default. What is the default gateway? Maybe I can do it here. I'm not sure. 192. Oh, that's not it. It's 192.168.11. 168.1.1. Let's see if it does it there. Okay, it did. It worked. So I'm gonna exit, and then I can save it now. Because remember, I can save when I exit here. Enter. I can save it when I'm in the hashtag. So I go config and then just save it. Where is it? Shoot, it's right here. See, I can't do it there, so I have to exit. Right there is where I can do the savings, and I just go right here. It's in the settings, and then save VLAN. But then it takes me back again. What the hell? Let me exit it. Never mind. I'm just gonna do it like this. And I just type it manually. So it's copy is running config. Why am I saving it? Because when you're done with this file, you're gonna send it to me. You're not gonna take a picture. You need to send it to me so I can verify that there's connectivity and that you completed this activity. Okay. Copy running configuration to startup. So every time you close it and open it, it should work. Startup configuration. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna press enter. It's gonna ask me to confirm it. Enter again. That's it. I'm gonna exit this thing. We'll close it. It's the same thing, and it should be connectivity all around. Now, once I'm done with all the IP addresses, setting up everything, I can test it for connectivity. Look at it. So remember, this one I created from scratch. I connected from scratch. So just gonna put it right here and then show you here. I'm gonna go to command prompt and then type. I'm gonna ping the IP address for the B, which is 03. I'm gonna go ping. Then I'm gonna go 192.168.03. So from this computer, I'm pinging this other one. So when I press enter, the first time it might lose some information. So I usually have to type it twice. See? It sent 4, and it received only 3. So I lost 25%. Meaning I lost 1 packet. But if I do it again, look, there'll be no problems. All right. So 4 sent, 4 received, 0 lost, 0% loss. So there's total connectivity now. If I do the simulation, which show me exactly how this thing is gonna work, then I got it. Look at it. Just gonna go and ping it again. There, that's a little envelope. When I go play it, see? That means that the message is doing it in slow motion. The message, it goes completely correct. Why? Because I was able to make sure that everybody's connected. That's why everything is green as a reply. And if you notice right here, it's going and slowly showing me. It's gonna do it 4 times. So that's the first packet. I'm gonna do it 4 times just to show you. Second time. And it's in slow motion. It's just, that's the way it does it. There it is. Second time. If I take out the constant delay, look, it's just gonna be really fast. If I play it again, it won't have that. Look at it really fast. So I will play. I'm still having that delay. It should be a little faster. I can speed up the delay. I forgot about that. That's okay. So that's the first packet. The second packet. So the switch is sending. Remember how it shows that it send it again. So some are gonna be not reach the destination. So here it goes for the second packet. Because remember this, the switch and the router sends it to everybody. So 2 didn't need it because it was only for PCB. It's a cool simulation because it shows. And in the past, we needed to do the simulation, but I just didn't want to make it so complicated. This is easy if you create the file. It's a slow thing, but it's just wanted to show you that. That's the second packet. How do I know? Because it's showing right here. Look at on this window, it's showing the packets. So it's gonna send the switch is gonna send it to That one doesn't need it. Remember the switch sends it to everybody in the ARP. So now it's gonna send it to the router too, but the router doesn't need it. Why? Because it's not the IP address that I ping. So it's not there. So it's gonna reply. So here's a reply. This shows a very slow process how I was doing it. And it shows different colors for the envelope. So that's the third one. And again, so it was correct. It went, came back, and it's all good. So those don't require, so it goes to the last one. Let me just, here's the last packet. That's packet number 4. Of course, this doesn't happen this slow. It's just showing it so you can basically see it visually. It's a visual simulation of how this connectivity is being tested. There it is. And then the message for the other two that is not gonna, that it still needs to check. There is cancel. That's it. That's the whole simulation of this thing, okay? Real-time simulation. And this is in real time now. But that's what you need to do. Right? You go, Mr. Vasquez, that's too complex. I can't do that. And this and that. It doesn't work. I don't know how to do it. Even if you follow my map, my video, you still struggle with this. Right? And this one, when you're done, and you're gonna go file, save it as, and you're gonna give it a name. What's the name of this? Building a switch network. So the name for this activity is this lab. It's highlighted right here. Lab. There. Building a switch and router network. So you save it, and then you're gonna send it to me. That's the one you're gonna send, okay? Make sure you save on MB RAM, because if you don't save it, when you send it to me and I open it, it's not gonna work. Why? Because if you didn't save the settings, if you didn't save the running configuration, meaning all the settings you did while you were running the thing, if you don't run this command, it's not gonna work. Okay. How do I know that? Because I can close it, look at, I'm not gonna save it because I already saved it once, and I can open it again and it works. Just like the first time. I'm just gonna accelerate the connection here and then just ping it really quick just to show you. Using the command prompt, I'm gonna ping B. So it's gonna be 192.168.0.3. I remember the IP address. Because remember the first time it might lose a little bit of a packet, maybe 1 or 2 packets. So see, the first time usually loses packets. See, it lost 1 packet. But if I do it again, it should all go through. Okay, still connected. If I didn't save it on VRAM by typing the copy command, copy to so and so, copy running config to a startup config. When I start this thing, when I open the thing, everything starts. See? Let me show you what I'm talking about. If I, oops, what happened here? Oh, minimize this window. I don't know what happened right now. Here. Because when I click right here, look at it, just barely started, look at, see? So when you first open the thing, it's like you barely turn it on. So if you didn't save it while it was on, then it loses everything. It's just like you turn off your computer, everything is gone, all right? So that's what you need to do on that. But you tell me, Mr. Vasquez, you know, I don't know how to do that. It's not, I can't do that. It's too complicated for me. Show me an easy way to do this. All right, I'm glad you asked. Here we go. This is I don't want to save this thing. I'm not, let me, screen there. So I closed it. Let me show you another option that you can do. If you can do that, you can use Paint and design it then. Design it this way. You design a PC. Well, my PC is crappy, doesn't have a mouse. If you can find a picture, an icon, or whatever, it's fine. I just draw it right now to show you. So you're gonna put on a little box right here. Look at. You're gonna make sure that you put the thing on a backslash. So this interface right here is gonna be the settings for that. Then for the router S1, so I'll use the label is. So you'll have to label it like this and then just do it that way. You know, design it this way. Okay, you know, so you can get some points on this activity. Of course, the ideal thing is to make sure that you can do the packet tracer, like I just showed in the video. But if you can do it, then you can do the activity this way. Okay. So I will do the what is the IP address for this? This one has two IP addresses. So I'm gonna put interface. That'll be the first interface will be the gigabit 0. So it'll be G0/0. And then put all the information for that one, which is contained on the little box. So you're gonna design the how do you call it? The topology using Paint or using any other program. Okay, so let me just do this really quick for you. So it'll be 192, the IP address. So I'm gonna put IP address. And then you type the IP address for the first interface is 192.168.0.1. And then the second thing is the subnet mask. You're gonna put the subnet mask for it, 255.255.255.0. The next thing is the default gateway. So type it. All right, so it's 192. Oh, there's no default gateway on this one. The switch doesn't have a default gateway. Oh yeah, that's. Wait a minute. This is a switch. So it's a VLAN. The wrong one here. VLAN 1. Sorry about that. It's 1, 2. So the default gateway is 192.168.1.1. And then the last one, no, this one is fine. That's all it needs. So this switch is fine. That's all we need for that one. I can just kind of like make a little back so I know this one belongs to that. What am I doing here? Okay, here. So I'll be. Whatever, but that's the idea. You get the idea. I don't know why my lines are so huge. But yeah, then you design the whole thing like this, and then type each one, assign the IP address that it belongs to each one. All right. Draw it as a thing. When you're designing a topology, just draw it, okay? However you can. If you can do it with a pencil and pen, it's fine. All right, I guess we can, it's better not to use the icons, just draw it manually. It doesn't have to be pretty as long as you have the information required. All right. That's just an alternate assignment. Won't get all the points that this is the actual packet tracer will give you, but it will give you some points. Because it is work too, but it's not what you need to do on this. So if you're a packet tracer, there's no file for this. You have to create a file, okay? Just make sure on that you understand that. Let me go ahead and add the assignment to the stop the share and stop the recording.